I know you have to bear with my audio around me, but I'm gonna die if I don't open the fan. So, if you wanted to listen to my podcast, then you better not use earphones kasi alam ko it's going to be quite irritating to the ears. And of course, my device is not as good as you'd want it to be. But this video is going to be me talking about my first few months or couple of months as a veterinarian, particularly being a small animal veterinarian focusing mostly on dogs and cats. Apologies if I won't be able to explain a lot context about what I'm gonna talk about or what I'll ramble about, pero I'll just be very spontaneous about my experiences. I started particularly later than my colleagues. I look forward to talking to owners. I mean, I'm really extroverted. Before, I'm quite a denial extrovert. Like, I don't really want to be called an extrovert because for me, I feel like being an extrovert means being very socially annoying to the point where you are particularly really awkward kasi parang, you're taking a lot of space in a particular room and you're gaining a lot of attention, sometimes unnecessary because of your loudness and stuff. But I guess it got the most out of me because really I'm quite extroverted. I have times where I'm particularly silent, but most of the time, if not all the time, I'm quite chatty and noisy, and I really love connecting with people, with the people that I'm drawn into. So first experiences ko as a vet here in the Philippines, it's the demands are so high already for veterinarians. Like, yung advance dito, yung desires ng owners, So, the industry here in the Philippines has to really keep up with the overarching human-like or anthropogenic demands of the pet owners, the pet parents, or the pet advocates, or whatever you call them, the one that goes to the clinic to have their animals consulted, basically have this human-like treatment for their pets. Hence, it translates or bleeds into the medical part of the animals. So, kailangan very advanced ka na rin as a veterinarian, and you have to develop really quickly. So, that's one of the struggles. But, of course, it's something that is workable. It's not a cul-de-sac. It's not an end game for small animal veterinarians like me. But it is something that some veterinarians, or at least young veterinarians, find pretty overwhelming. Kasi we have to keep up. But the level of trainings and education is not really quite as extensive as other fields. But then, I think that's the either the power or the predicament of veterinarians dito sa Pilipinas. Kasi the world is our oyster, and we can be as resourceful as we wanted to be. Kasi nga, it's not that we're behind, but it's just that the demands are exponentially higher than what we'd expect. Pets are not just pets anymore. They're literally children, are treated as children. The communication part is not really much of a problem. Alam mo yan, because I'm already talking and I know how to easily connect. But yeah, it's still hard because, may mga sinasabi sila na, oh, doc, can you do this? Can you do that? Of course, it's well beyond my abilities, and though there is mentorship here in the Philippines, and you can reach out perhaps to older, I'm so sorry though, mga older, yung mga nauna na ng mga veterinarians, but of course, it's still a road less traveled, and yung mga seniors din namin also is learning, like constantly learning new pathways for veterinary healthcare industry. So, ayun, it's really kind of like a healthy struggle because at least maraming doors, diba, of opportunities kaysa naman there's none. Of course, there's still disparity when it comes to price or like financial thing. Kasi, although there's a high demand, may mga ano pa rin parang microcosm pa rin siya ng Philippines yung veterinary industry. Healthcare is still, since we're in a capitalist society, it still is primarily, especially veterinary healthcare here in the Philippines, it's predominantly private. So, public veterinary health is mostly focused on public health, or like focused on the zoonotic diseases like rabies, like meat cost diseases, so yung mga meat inspection. Other than that, we are left sa private practice to cater that. And of course, it has its own price. And sometimes it's a struggle kasi whenever you see pet parents that really wanted to have their pets treated but they cannot afford it, ang hirap. It's so hard to see that, na they wanted to, but only if they can, they will. Pero wala So, ayun. Medyo, it's kind of hard to see. Kaya, I really wanted to try my best to be as present, and make the most out of what I can give. Sometimes I know that it's not my best, but I always make sure, well, I guess my clients or the owners can speak for this, but yeah, I try my best to really connect with everyone as much as I can and make the owners feel safe for their pets and make the service worth it. Especially veterinary healthcare is expensive here in the Philippines. Need ko na ipagkakailaya na mahal pagpagamot ng alaga natin pusa at aso sa Pilipinas. And you cannot blame the industry because it's a very small one. Being a veterinarian is fulfilling. Like, I didn't regret being a vet talaga. It's not rainbows and cupcakes and puppies, kittens, kisses. It contains a lot of death. sorry if I mentioned that. Death is quite a heavy topic here in the Philippines, but yeah, it contains a lot of morbid stuff that you really have to embrace and accept. You have to get through it. So yun, being a veterinarian is more than just like the medical part of it. Now I understand more why veterinarians call it an art more than just medicine or like science, because there are more ways to do or to manage one disease. Like there's no particular way. There's the best way, but the best way will not always be attainable. So multiple options must be provided, and that's where the art comes from. That's where the creativity, resourcefulness, and the capability of the clinician to think of ways on how to manage different diseases with limited amount of resources. Every day is a new day talaga. Every day is different than the other, so you look forward to it, and you get the chance to meet a lot of new people around you, you know, especially kung ikaw ay secluded. Ako naman, hindi naman ako secluded, pero I really love talking to people and know about their life and why they're here, you know, sa hospital, parang gano'n. I appreciate their time and their willingness to give as much, or at least try to give healthcare opportunities for their pets. Even the preventives one, especially the preventives one, those that maintain their pets' vaccines, their pets' tick and flea preventives, their what do you call this? Deworming. Those that shape their environment according to their pets. Very nice. So veterinarians or veterinary professionals here in the Philippines are very few in relation to the volume of human medical professionals. But of course, we're not supposed to compare, right? Because the demand and supply is quite different. Human medicine is, of course, the top priority. Even in veterinary medicine, our intention is to keep the public safe by keeping the animals safe, basically. So by keeping your pets safe and healthy, we are keeping you healthy. Yun. So I look forward to greater experiences, but I know greater experiences include more challenging ones. So wish me luck in this journey. Yeah, this is me, and I'll just put on my Dazzle Me Get a Grip. Need to sponsor na. Setting spray. So thank you so much, and I'm hoping that you reached this part of the video, but if not, then yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.